My back's feeling really good, thank you. And no, it's not.
There were radio reports that you had a cracked vertebrae. Is that any truth to that at all?
I believe our injury report's official, and so is that what our injury report said? I don't know what they put out, so no, I don't think so. Whatever
You guys put out
an official injury report, then we should look into that. We'll talk to Jeff about it.
Okay.
Talk about the attitude of the team going into Boise State. Obviously a tough loss to recover from. You guys saying the right things, but is the emotion there? Are you guys ready?
The emotion's there in the fact that we're anxious. Bro, it's like when you accidentally drink vinegar and you're expecting it to be water. You want to spit it out as quick as possible. So that's what's happened with us out here today. Lots of energy. It's behind it. I mean, we are saying all the right things, but they're true. At least as far as I'm concerned, at least as far as the guys that I'm leading and the guys that are behind me are concerned. We're fully focused on Boise State because they're a very good football team.
Is it a good thing that it turned around so fast playing Thursday in this light?
That's hard to say because Utah's a physical football team and you're beat up and bruised, but there's nothing we can do about it now. We set that schedule a long time ago, and so our game's scheduled for Thursday night. Let's go play Thursday night.
When you guys got together as a team for the first time today, what kind of vibe did you get in the room?
Wasn't a happy one, that's for sure. So I don't know. Coach kind of talked to us. Definitely acknowledged all that we could have done better, but pointed out some positives and spots in the game where if we can play like that consistently. He had a cut up of about 6 clips, and so if we can do that consistently, obviously they weren't just 6 plays, more than that, but if we can do that consistently, then we're capable of a lot more than we showed on Saturday.
What's the pickup for a program that hangs so much of its season goal on being perfect or being undefeated when it comes to something like this?
1 week at a time, baby. It is a magical thing to go undefeated in college football. Very few teams get to do it, and I mean, even last year's national champions lost a game, and the way it's football, the way college football is playing out this year, I'd be surprised if there's an undefeated team this year. So, you know what? We'll keep battling. Not all is lost. 12-1 is a pretty darn good record, and so we still got a chance at that, and that's what we're striving for.
Talk about Boise State defensively. What do they present?
Very disciplined, and they're also athletic too. I mean, you don't want to undersell. They kind of get the same rap as us, being from Idaho, and they don't get a lot of 5-star guys that they're just play hard guys. But it's not true. They're very talented, very athletic, and very disciplined. So they're similar to Utah as far as tenacity and things like that. In base schemes, they don't get too cute. They line up and play good assignment defense, and so it'll be our execution versus theirs.
So are they zone, man? What do they
They mix it up. In certain situations, they play a little bit of man. In crucial situations, they play man, which shows they have a lot of confidence in their pass defenders and their defensive backs, and also in their pass rush.
I know it was 6 years ago, but what memory do you have of playing against them?
I remember it was very loud. We started off the game similar to how we started off the Utah game. It was backed up in our own end zone, and nobody could hear anybody. And I think we started off the game with 3 straight false starts. So I remember that. I remember it was late November, and there was a bad glare off the blue turf, which I've heard they've switched, and it doesn't matter now because we're going to be playing at night. And then I just remember they were a good football team. I remember having moments thinking, as a young 18-year-old kid, like, wow, I'm not quite ready to play with these guys. I mean, I was giving it my best and trying my hardest, but those guys were playing on a different level than I am. But here we sit, 6 years later, and I definitely feel like we can not only play with them, but have a chance to beat them.
They're 19-0 against Utah teams at these Utes Cougars.
Right.
What does that say about them, and does that even matter to you?
Man, I bet if you went through the 50 states, they'd be something and oh versus a lot of 50 states, especially at home. I know in the last 60 games, they've only lost 3 there. So it's tough. I know the crowds. Last year I was up at the Idaho Bowl watching Utah State, and Boise fans, there was more Boise fans there than Ohio or Utah State fans. So I know they love football. I know they're passionate about their Broncos, and It says a lot about their home environment and their football program. Coach Peterson's very well respected. Every time I've heard him speak, he seems to me to be a guy, I mean, I would follow him, and I admire him for what he's done for that program.
Riley, was there any time Saturday when you were limited by your health playing against the Utes?
Nope.
Slowed down at all?
Nope.
Riley, you said that you're confident, so you feel like you can not just hang with Boise, but you can actually beat him. What are some of the keys that you're going to try to execute there to beat him?
Limit turnovers, as was Utah. We lost the Utah battle, 2 turnovers to nothing. And if you take those away, then that takes some points away from Utah and gives us a higher likelihood that we win that game. So turnovers obviously is a big thing. We need to play better on special teams. We played good on special teams versus Utah. We need to play better against Boise State because they're also very good on special teams. And then not make it any bigger than it is. Yeah, the crowd's going to be loud, and yeah, they have a good home record, but let's go out there and play, just as if it were a fall scrimmage or a spring scrimmage for us. I know that's easier said than done, but if mentally we can get in that state, I think that'll give us the best chance.
Are you a fan of fans rushing the field?
That's hard to say. I know. I've been on both sides of it. It's hard to say. No, I actually get kind of like panicky. On Saturday, when it hit off the upright, I went straight in the locker room, so I didn't get caught up in all that mess. But there's been times where I've been, it's been my team that's won, and you can't breathe, and it's scary. So as much as I love our fans and the passion that they bring and all that, I'd prefer it if they stayed in the stands. It's a lot less claustrophobic for me.
Is knowing that you're going to play on a blue turf, how does that factor into your preparation?
It doesn't at all. It's going to be nighttime, and it's a fun thing, and it adds to the identity of their program. But I've played on it before, and it doesn't affect you.
And perhaps you answered this before, but regional kind of a game.
Right.
Boise State. Can you talk about maybe the fans that are going to be there for supporting those teams?
I know Boise. I know it's a tough ticket because I got a lot of family that wants to go, and so I've been looking for some extra tickets, and there's not many available, and that's not just from BYU's end. I know the Boise State fans, they come out in the masses, and they love their Broncos, and they fill that stadium, week in and week out, and really doesn't matter who the opponent is. So it's going to be a fun game and a fun environment. It's fun to be on a national stage, to play in front of they'll be the only game on TV that night, and we're looking forward to it.
A lot of lessons learned from the Utah game, heading to the Boise State game. You talked about some of the things that you prepared for, but maybe you can take some of those lessons and apply them to Boise State.
Snap count's important. Quarterback exchange, center quarterback exchange is important, and that's about all I can think about right now. So.
How tough is it? I'm sorry again, I got here late.
Yeah, no problem.
Traffic, but how tough is the turnaround for this team?
Physically, I bet eventually we'll get there for Thursday. Obviously, they're going to be a big physical team, and Utah was a big physical team, and so your bumps and bruises probably won't quite be healed, but the adrenaline kicks in, and you do fine. You'd like to be fresh, but it's psychological. Nobody's fresh. I mean, it's the 4th week of the season, and very few people are fresh now, so it's all kind of an evil playing field, and for them it's a short week too, so at least I believe, right? Yeah, and so they're dealing with the same thing we are, and hopefully we can play some good football on Thursday.